7 for this meeting, which is a presentation from our Chief Innovation Officer and IT Director, Naveed, who will be covering a series of items. So I'll defer to you, Naveed, to walk us through this presentation, and thanks again.
Sure. Good evening, Commissioner. Good evening, Chair Matias and the commissioners. Thank you for having me tonight. Naveed Ashraf, Chief Innovation Officer and IT Director. And I will be giving you a brief update on the following 5 items listed on the screen for you. I won't take too much of your time tonight. I will probably spend about a minute and a half on each item. And then I will leave it up to you guys to ask me questions at the end. Or if you want to email me more detailed questions, we can go ahead and do that as well. So jumping into the updates, the city website, you probably have noticed that there's a new city website we did a soft launch back in the middle of January. And the reason for the soft launch was that the site was in the making for a long, long time. And due to staffing issues and then just being busy, we just didn't have the time to just, work out all the bugs. So we decided that we got most of the site done. So we decided to do a soft launch. And then in the middle of February, in another week or so, we are planning on doing a hard launch. So our PIO and the IT team is busy working out the bugs and catching the missing links and a bunch of other stuff, the quality control stuff that's happening right now. And we hope to do a hard launch in about a week and a half. You'll see a press release to the public. So many new features on the site, brand new design, as you can see, nice brand new pictures for the city of Vallejo. Over the years, like the fate of every website, it kind of turns into a Winchester mystery house because so many people contribute to it and the content is not always updated and a lot of the old content just kind of stays there. So it turns into a very distorted, state after a while. So with this new refresh, we kind of turned off a lot of the old links that were not in use, and it gave us a good chance to kind of do a spring cleaning and bring the relevant links up for you. You're going to see definitely a better design, more mobile friendly. There's a translation feature at the top. If you go notice, there's a translation for Tagalog and Spanish available. And also we're working on a staff directory, citywide staff directory that people can actually search and by the department, and then you get everybody in the IT department or everybody in the economic development. We're working on that directory right now for you. That takes us right into the economic development staff page. So each department, if you would go back to the website and you would, and I encourage you guys go and look, and if something is not flowing right, please email me, email the PIO. We'll make those changes for you. Economic development page is listed as one of the as a department page, and the content is up to you. You provide us the content. Yvette and Paul, they're the one who actually provide the content for us. So whatever content they have, we're able to put that content up. We were able to take all the stuff from the old site and populate the economic development page with that old content. You guys had asked for a economic development page to be placed on the website. So yes, in this new website, we do have the capability of creating pages for you. So again, that nice chart that Commissioner Lufus provided in the last meeting, we are able to put that type of stuff on the website. So again, work with your commission secretary, work with the Director Kelly, and get a list of the content together that you want to put together on the Economic Vitality Commission website. And I'll go ahead and create, you're not limited to one page, I can create multiple pages for you. So like if you go into the boards and commission now, if you go into the Arts and Culture Commission, you can kind of see that they had a list of the grants that they gave out last year and this year. We have a list of those grants posted for them on the website. That's what they wanted, and I did that for them. So again, whatever guys that you want, whatever content that you want, we can go ahead and get that content put up there. And then we can work with you. We can go back and forth on the look and feel of the content and how, arranging the content too. Again, no big deal. We can do multiple pages, and we have the expertise in-house to kind of create that content for you. BlueDot software, that's also loaded up on the city website as well. That software cost is very minimal. IT is picking up the tab, and we're going to continue with the BlueDot software. And then we can also link that to various sections and make it more prominent, whatever you like. Broadband update, we are continuing to make headway in our RFP and also creating a fiber optic master plan. Slightly delayed, but the work is being done. And we were supposed to come back. Well, we were supposed to do a meeting, a broadband update in the last council meeting, but the meeting ran so late that item was deleted. It was moved to the later meeting. But now in the February 22nd meeting, we're noticing that meeting may run also late. So I've decided to take that broadband update out of the council agenda. But instead, we're going to do a memo to the council and giving them an update of the progress. So that memo should be going to the council. And once it goes to the council, then it can be shared to the commissioners, and we can also share it wherever we need to share it to. Again, the work is progressing. We are working on the fiber optic master plan. The draft fiber optic master plan should be coming to the council sometime in April. And then shortly after that, we'll have an RFP for the council to review as well. And then we can go ahead and publish the RFP. That pretty much covers all the topics. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to stick around. I'll be here for the whole meeting anyway. But if you don't have any questions now, please email me as well. And then I can also respond via email as well.
Thank you so much, Naveed. Really appreciate it. We've got questions from our commission, beginning with Commissioner Lufus.
Sure.
Hi, Naveed. Just want to say the website looks amazing first. And then I have a question on the BlueDot. Who's going to manage that, the software, or who's managing BlueDot? Who's going to run the back end of that?
I think it'll be the Economic Development Department.
Okay.
So we can we can give them the admin rights along with IT, and then we can add businesses there. So that's not a problem.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
And Vice Chair Harrell, questions from you.
As a follow-up to the previous question, what is the strategic plan for outreach to existing businesses so that they can be included on that website? I
defer that to Director Kelly and Yvette, and actually the board, the commission itself. How you want to market it to Vallejo, press release or website, and we're more than happy to accommodate you in any of those means.
Staff, any follow-up on that?
Yeah, through the chair. Thank you, Chair Matthias. I just would echo the comments by Naveed. We have not necessarily created any planning related to it, and we will look to you and others into the coming year.
A challenge that I have is the investment of time without any known outcome relative to even the initial outreach to get traffic or draw personnel or draw businesses to the site. With that in mind and understanding, and it does look good, I will give us that. With that in mind, I'm very curious as to what has the traffic pattern been on specifically the Economic Development Department's page?
Those metrics I do not have yet. Once we do the hard launch and all the pages are set to where they're supposed to go, and we have the hierarchy set to where we want it exactly, then at that point we can turn on the analytics. And once the analytics are turned on, then at that point we can start gathering the metrics and the stats, and we can report that back to you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
For the future and on the current site, but data should be available from the previous site for previous activity, and we use that as our baseline with a hope and an expectation that we'll have an increase. Do we have anything based on the many years of the site has been active that would be able to give us a guidance as to how much work, how many people actually go to this site?
Sure.
Under economic development.
Yep, I can actually pull those numbers out for you from the old site, and we can send them via email to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vice Chair Harrell. Commissioner Robinson, Commissioner Barbier, any questions from you on any of the updates shared by Naveed?
No questions, but thank you for all the hard work that you guys have put into the website. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Again, I want to say that it is work in progress. Still a lot of work is still being done. We're fixing things today, and actually we have a meeting tomorrow to just finalize with Christina Lee and Alex Laxon from my team. We're going to finalize a few last points before and make those changes. Thank you.
Yeah, no questions from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair Harrell, I see your hand up again.
Naveed, is there a plan of regular updates and maintenance of the site so that we don't end up, and when I say a plan, I mean, is it calendared that every 90 days we're going to have a mini review, every 6 months a larger review, and once a year a major review, so that we can update and modify and correct those things that we find to be lacking either engagement or in accuracy?
Sure. So we're actually, this is a very good question, actually. So one procedural change we made with this update is that we're limiting the number of admins to the website. In the past, everybody in every department, and literally 50, 60 admins in the city that made changes to it. Again, that centralization just wasn't there. And when people are kind of doing things on their own, it does turn into that Winchester, mystery house after a while. And with this new website, we've pretty much limited the numbers of admin because we do have a strong PIO. We have a strong communication team. We want all communication, the look and feel, channeling through them.
Good.
And then, and basically only the big departments like Public Works and Planning and Development, they have admins because they make changes all the time, and they've been thoroughly trained by Christina Lee in making those changes. The rest of the departments, they submit their content over to IT. But overall, the city, the IT department relies on individual departments to monitor their pages and tell us, is the content stale or is the content fresh? That's up to them. So it is Paul and Yvette and Annette, they will be monitoring the economic development pages and coming to me, hey, Naveed, this content is really old. Let's remove that. Let's remove it. Let's put the new content in. So we rely on departments. But again, as I said, we have a very strong communication team and a technology team now, committee actually in the city. And that committee meets on the bi-monthly basis. So we have some good procedures in place where we're streamlining this content and making sure our content stays fresh and things, are updated more often and not just left.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Vice Chair Harrell. I have a quick follow-up question. I think it's actually two questions, so I'll be quick. My first question is on the broadband update. So I know the consultant in your department and other departments are right now trying to get responses from the city. But relative to other content that I've seen on the social media pages, on the newsletter, I haven't really seen a push to really get that response rate up. And so I am wondering, or I guess my question to you is is there an outreach strategy where you may be sort of engaging community stakeholders to promote this survey and to make sure that we get the response rates up, because I want to make sure that that plan that you put in front of council is informed by a wide variety of stakeholders. And, you know, we haven't really heard much about that.
Yes, definitely. We actually received quite a bit of responses from that survey. We received over 200 responses from the survey. Again, the survey is in English, Spanish, and Tagalog. And we also met with every single council member, myself and the consultant. And we passed that link on to the council members as well to share on their social media or in their circles of, you know, their circles of influence, or in their areas or districts. So you are about to see an update, and the consultant actually has been contacting all the major stakeholders in the city. He's contacted all our anchor institutes, the school district, all the chambers. He's met with all the council members, CCRC, you name it. Pretty much every important or anybody, you know, business community we have contacted in the city, and we have gotten the input. The draft that the update that we were supposed to give to the council 2 meetings ago, that did not happen. That we were going to share that with the council, but that update didn't happen. So we are going to put that into a memo, and you will see that memo come out very soon. Yeah.
Thank you. And then my quick follow-up question has to do with the question that Vice Chair Harrell asked around the process that you have in place to update content.
Mm-hmm.
Can you point us right now, and you don't have to show us the document itself, but would your department be able to point us to a process document that perhaps may have been circulated to all department leads that outlines what is going to be the cadence for folks to have to update things on the website? Does that exist?
Communications, Paul, Christina Lee might have a communication plan that we can share with the commission. Mm-hmm.
I think that would be helpful.
Through the chair. So Christina Lee, RPIO, who presented before the commission a few meetings ago, she has a communications committee. There's a representative from each one of the departments, and I will dredge up that document. There is a form for that, so we'll get that to you.
Yeah, and I'm just curious because I want to make sure, obviously, that you know, we're sort of operationalizing a lot of these things that are happening, and we don't repeat, to Vice Chair Harrell's earlier point, you know, some of the, I don't want to call them mistakes, but some of the lapses in operationalizing things that have perhaps occurred in the past. So, and if you could share that with us by the next meeting, that would be great.
Understood. And also, Chair Matthias, on the new website, under the departments, you'll see a new section, communications. So Christina Lee has a new section of communications in there. And we've kind of pretty much gathered all our outward communication efforts in that one location. So now Vallejo Unites, the Vallejo Weekly, or any of the press releases, or any communication material that goes out to the public is in one location. So.
Sounds good. So just to summarize, before I summarize this conversation, I just want to check, because we have a couple of members of the public in attendance. Any comments or questions from members of the public, or questions for Naveed on this presentation? You can raise your hand, and then we will give you speaking privileges. Seeing none, I want to summarize what I heard, and I think it'd be great if you could just give us a quick update, even if it's a short memo. So Vice Chair Harrell has requested analytics on traffic to the ED page by our next meeting. We also want to see if there are some guidelines in place that department heads have, so that those help inform, you know, how often content is being published. And then for staff, I'm also potentially seeing a role for this commission to give you a hand, if you don't have any resources at this time, to actually put content on your staff page. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, through the chair, I think one of the aspects or one of your duties as a commission is to help with our website. So, and I think, one of the elements of your work plan that was taken before the council was related to the weekly. So, on a monthly basis, a Vallejo weekly article. So I think those are all things. And then, one of the elements that was mentioned, which I'm thrilled about, is being able to have specific pages for the commission. So obviously we're going to want to work with you in particular and the communication subcommittee of the commission on that content, as well as take any input that you have on other components of the economic development page. So kind of your master page and then working your way down. Awesome.
Thank you so much, Director Kelly. Vice Chair, I see your hand up.
Yeah, just a comment, and that is from a technical standpoint, I just looked at the website and the map of the Vallejo Chamber that they provide. I mean, there's some questions that I'd have regarding that, but the resolution is too low for us to do anything with. You can enlarge it, but you can't see it. So we need to be very careful about the quality of the stuff that we put online. Let's get original image files directly from them, as opposed to taking it from whatever site that we're getting it from.
Sure. Yeah, and that's a content question, and you can definitely send me that content. Mm-hmm.
And it looks like we have Mr. Cooper here, so we may just do some outreach to Mr. Cooper to get the original file in the coming months. And then the last item that I heard about is BlueDot. So there appears to be also a space for us to play in sort of designing a plan and a process to get folks to really, put information into that system and populate it. So the Operations and Communications Subcommittee has some work in front of them in the coming months.